Hello, my name is Dr. Thomas Joseph, and I am one of the course instructors for our C215 Operations Management class. Welcome. In this video, I want to give you a walkthrough of the many resources that are available in the course for you, and also to give you an exploration of your Wiley Plus learning material. This actually is the textbook that we utilize for this course. So most of you are familiar with what you can currently see. This is the course of study. To the left of the course of study, you will see your study plan. In your study plan, there is the introduction to start with, and the introduction piece kind of give you a very good overview of what the course is all about, the competencies or availability of course instructors that are here to help you as well. And you also have your cohort offerings. This is where you will be able to see what cohorts the class offers, and then you can enroll in those cohorts. There's also a preparing for success tab, and this gives you information on the learning resources that are here, but it also gives you a breakdown of the topics and pacing guide. And this is very crucial because this course is developed for 6 to 8 weeks. So we kind of give you a breakdown of how you can pace the course week after week, what information you can study. Most students are completing this course within 3 to 4 weeks, so you can always combine information from one week into another. And then you have your 6 competencies. The first competency is your quality management methods. We'll get into those things in a little while. And your capacity planning and location analysis, work system design and scheduling, operating efficiency, supply chain management and planning. So these are the 6 competencies that you will be tested on in the classroom. To the left of the classroom or of your course of study, or to the right rather, you will see your course instructor information. Once you activate your course instructor information will be there. In your course instructor information, you'll have your course instructor's name, email address, phone number, office hours, and a link where you can set up time to talk with your course instructor. We have the announcements tab. In the announcements tab, we post all our course instructors information, which includes name, email address, phone number with extension, office hours, and also a link to our time trade. And another thing we post in there is the holidays for the university. So at least you have a good idea of what days the university is closed. But then we have course tips. In course tips, you can access a lot of information. Some students have questions about calculations and formulas. I would encourage you guys, where you see click here, click on here. This will help you open up a PDF file. In that PDF file, we really outline most of the question and answers that students have asked about calculations. What formulas do I need to know? Is there heavy math questions and stuff like that? So I really encourage you to review that, because when you start reviewing the material itself, you may run into a lot of calculations, questions and formulas and all of that stuff, and then you will ask, do I need to know that? So this FAQ document really answers those questions for you. Next, I recommend the Objective Assessment Prep Guide. Now, this guide is really a breakdown. I want to open this up and show you what the guide is. It's really a breakdown of each competency and the chapters that align with each of the competency. But more than that, we also give a breakdown of the chapter topics for each chapter. So at least your reading and your study of the material, it's more structured, it's more constructive. So you're not trying to figure out, what do I read, where do I read, what information do I need to know, and so on and so forth. So the objective assessment really gives you, the objective assessment prep guide rather, really gives you a good breakdown of some of the key topics that you need to focus on as you review each chapter. And again, this is broken down for each competency and then each chapter that aligns with that specific competency. Lots of students will download the objective assessment prep guide, and then they will use that as a note-taking tool as they review the material from the textbook. So we highly recommend to utilize that. There is also a terms and definition sheet that you can utilize. This sheet really gives you a breakdown of some of the key terms in the text, but most of the definitions are more practically based, in the the sense that they give you an approach that shows how this concept applies in certain situations. We do have a list of videos. For those of you who like videos, we do have a list of videos that we recommend to explore. This is a YouTube list. That's a playlist of about 6 videos we recommend. You can explore those things. And then we have short videos that really addresses specific course content. So for example, if you have when you chapter 7 in your textbook, if you have any questions about, I'm not understanding just in time and lean systems, there's a video that explains that in a more practical way. One of the things I want to mention about this as I'm talking about videos is we want to ensure that you are using those tools as supplemental information or resources. Your textbook should be used as your primary source of information. Your objective assessment and pre-assessment, they're developed from the course textbook. So deviation from reading the chapter text is not going to help you. So be sure to utilize the videos and PowerPoints, etc., as supplemental in resources rather than primary resources. The prep guide really gives you a breakdown of the core topics from each chapter that you need to focus on as you read the chapter. So all this information is available for you and you can utilize that. And then you can utilize course chatter as well. If you have questions that you just want to ask to the entire class community, you can use that to access that as well. So let's now dive into our course textbook and where you can access your information to read and review material from the course. Again, your Wiley Plus textbook is your textbook for this class. So you can click on any of the course competencies under the study plan. You can do operations management, clicks down to quality management, or you can go to any of these. And when you click on this one, for example, operations quality management, then you scroll down, you will see where it says access chapter 5 total quality management. If you click on this link, or when you click on this link for any of the competencies that you open, right? Chapter 5, or we could do chapter 6 from here. This link will take you directly to your learning resources, all right, from Wiley Plus. Now, one of the things I want you to observe is because I clicked on chapter 5 from here, the course of study, this link directed me straight to chapter 5 in the Wiley Plus textbook. So this would help me begin my reading from chapter 5. Okay, now that you're in here, you can choose to go home and explore all the resources from all the chapters, whichever way you want to do it. So if you figure out this is chapter 5 I want to review today, then you can stick with chapter 5. But then you do have the option to click home, and now you have access to all of the chapters and all of the resources from each of the chapters. So as you can see, chapter 3, chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so on. Okay. One of the things I want to point out real quick, as you guys can see, this begins with chapter 3 and not chapter 1. Chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 8 are not included in your study because you're not being tested on questions from those chapters. So we only make available to you the chapters that you've been tested on your objective assessment as well as your pre-assessment. Okay. So for each of these chapters, and I will just show you one, and all of them are broken down the very same way. You have access to all of the resources. So you could click on the textbooks and resources link, or you could just individualize each of those. So for example, from the chapter 3 textbook and resources, here is a breakdown of what you will find here. You will find an overview video, the e-textbook, and the PowerPoint presentation. So this will make this available for all of that. So you have the choice of, if you click on that link, then you have those here that you can actually access, so you can click next and go that way. Or if you prefer, you can click on it. So if you say, I just want to see the overview video, and the overview videos really give from one of the authors of the textbook, really gives you a breakdown of what the chapter is about. Very good information. And then the e-textbook is really your chapter reading. So for chapter 3, for example, this will take me directly to chapter 3. You have the PowerPoint presentations one of the things you can do is when you click on the PowerPoint slides, it automatically downloads the slide for you. So this will put a file on your computer that you can utilize as well. Our recommendation too is after you've completed the chapter reading, work on the course quizzes. There's some practice quizzes that you can utilize to help test your knowledge about what you just read from the chapter. So for each chapter, there is a practice quiz tab. I recommend to work on those. A good thing about the practice quiz tab, you have the option to reset the questions. And so at least you can continue taking those questions just to ensure that you are quizzing yourself on what you read. I want to emphasize something on the practice quiz. The practice quiz is information relative to the chapter, and it's more a test of your knowledge. I read chapter 3, for example. Let me test myself on what I learned from what I read. Practice quiz for that chapter will help. Additionally, you can look at some additional resources from each chapter, for example, flashcards. If you look at the flashcards, you have the option of doing some additional multiple choice quizzes as well. These are very definition-based quizzes. You can look at flashcards, the glossary, you can look at and then you can pick a chapter from here of what flashcards you want to look at. All right. You do have an option also where you can access from the home button. You can access all of the chapters. You can do the same thing by clicking on the Wiley Plus resources as well. As you guys can see that there are two tabs. There's the courses tab, course resources tab, and the practice tab. The course resources tab really gives you what for each chapter, how many available items are, how many items are available for that particular chapter. So as you guys can see, for total quality management, there are 8 items that you can access. Some of them are videos, but the most important thing you will need is the textbook reading. You can utilize the flashcards as well as the PowerPoints. Lots of people like to use PowerPoints. The second tab is the practice tab, which is where you can access the practice questions again, or the practice quizzes for each of the chapters. So this is very similar to what you see on this side. So whereas this is housed here under this chapter, it has its own tab. So you can say, all right, I want to do the practice quizzes for chapter 11. You come on here and you click and you can answer questions one by one. This section of the resources really allows you to reset the entire quiz. So if you decide to take quiz for chapter 11, when you complete all the questions from that's listed here for that chapter, you will have the option to click reset quiz, and it resets the quiz as though you have never taken the quiz before. So that's available for you as well. All right, so there is lots of information that you can access on here. So I really encourage you to make sure that you're utilizing the Wiley Plus textbook as your primary source of information. You're completing the chapter reading. How do I complete my chapter reading effectively so I don't feel overwhelmed, Dr. Joseph? My response to this question is utilize the prep guide. The prep guide really gives you a breakdown of each of the chapter topics that you can review from that specific chapter. All right, so let's get excited about learning. Your course instructors are here to help you with any questions or any concerns that you have. So it's okay to either send us an email or schedule some time with your course instructor to discuss any topics or concerns that you have. Once again, my name is Dr. Joseph, and I want to welcome you guys. Let's get fun. Let's have a good time learning, because this is why we're here, to learn together. All the best to you, and be good and stay safe. Bye-bye.